Okay, so this is a guided walkthrough for the Celeste level, otherwise known as level number 29, from the Venus CTF labs from hackmyvm.eu. So the first thing we need to do to start any of these levels is to read the mission.txt file. So the mission description says the user Celeste has access to MySQL, but for what? Or MySQL. Some people get really mad when you pronounce SQL as SQL. Uh, but anyways, what do we have here? So let's find out if Celeste has any particular functionality on here. So they do not. Okay, so MySQL exists on the server. So what we need to do is we need to access it as the user Celeste. So we're going to run this command right here, MySQL user Celeste, and we need to provide a password. So we're going to provide Celeste user password, paste it in. Okay, so we need to figure out how to use SQL. So I don't use SQL super often, so I'm going to have to figure out how to look at tables. So what tables, whenever we arrive on a SQL database, the first thing we need to do is we need to figure out how to output the database names. So this is a MariaDB version of SQL. So let's go ahead and do a little bit of research. So it's going to be show databases. Okay, we've got information schema, which is a default database, and we've got Venus. So we're going to use this database here. So just use Venus. Okay, database changed. And then we need to figure out what tables exist in this database. So I think it's just show tables. We've got people in this database. All right, so I think what we can do from this point is we can just do this SQL command, which is from select star from people. So this should dump out all of the contents of the people table. Let's see what happens. Okay, so this is a list of all the users in the system, I guess. And so there we've got ID number, we got the username, and we got a password. So remember that we're looking for the Nina users? We're looking for whose password are we looking for? So it actually didn't tell us why we have this information. So what we can do is we can just manually copy all this information and turn it into a file. So we're just going to copy this entire table here. Okay, and we're going to go back to our Kali Linux terminal over here, and we're in the temp directory. Okay, we're just going to create a file called data.txt. And we're going to paste in all the information we got from the SQL system. All right, we're going to save that. And then, so let's just manually examine the stuff in here. So we've got Nuna, Nona. We need to figure out which password is the password we want. And I'm pretty sure the only way we would figure out which one is correct is by looking at the user password file inside of the Venus server. So back over here, we're going to exit. And then we're going to look at the etc password file. So the etc password file tells us which of these names over here are going to be valid in the system. And I think what we can do is we can just copy. Actually, we need to get rid of all of these accounts that have no login. So we can just cat this out and then grep B for no login. So these are all valid user accounts. So we're just going to copy all these. We're going to, you know what, I'm just going to use the AI to help me out. So over here, this is a list of valid users on a Linux system. Keep this for me. Then I'm going to paste in this over here. Okay, it doesn't give them a memory updated. Got it, saved. And then we're going to go and we're going to get the list of passwords over here. So I'm just going to exit out of here. I'm going to read the data. And then I'm going to go back to ChatGPT. I'm going to ask it, this is a list from a SQL database. From this database, which users also exist in the list of Linux users? And if so, what is their password? It's going to give us a, this is how you do it. Okay. I'm not interested in learning how to do it. I just want you to do it for me. Oh boy, it's really taking its time. Okay, stop this. Just tell me which names exist in both lists. Okay, so here are names that exist in both the Linux users and SQL database. And what passwords are associated with these names? Okay. So in this case, we're going to try to log in as these users. So I'm just going to copy this over here. We can try to brute force the system with this. So one last question. Using the Hydra brute force tool, how do we use a list of username / passwords on one line? Okay. The C options, which specifies the colon separated file containing username password pairs. Okay, so we need to prepare the list over here and then use the C flag with Hydra. Okay, let's prepare the list. So I'm just going to use nano, and this is going to be called creds.txt. So paste in this stuff over here. We need to make sure that these names are separated by a colon, like this. We're going to save the file. And then we're going to use Hydra over here. Okay, so in this case, we're using creds.txt. Okay, and the target is going to be venus.hackmyvm.eu. The port is going to be 5000, and the protocol is going to be SSH. Okay, let's see. Unknown service SSH. Maybe I need to do SSH in lowercase. Huh, 0 valid passwords found. That was unexpected. Oh, you know what? I see here that ChatGPT misspelled one of the names. Actually, it didn't misspell one of the names, it omitted one of the names. So if we take a look at the data.txt, we see that Nina is over here, but it forgot to include Nina in the list. And if we take, so spoiler alert, the name that is supposed to come back positive is supposed to be Nina. And if we take a look in this list over here, Nina is here in the list. Huh, does Nina not appear? No. Nina appears in this list. But for some reason, ChatGPT didn't find it, or it didn't return it. So this is this is a good opportunity to tell you that ChatGPT is not always accurate. So in this case, ChatGPT didn't get us the answer. And let me just add that entry to this over here. So we've got Nina with this password. Let's add it to creds.txt. So okay, now that we've added it, we can then run Hydra again. And now Hydra successfully brute forces Nina into the system with this password over here. So this is the password for the next level, which is the Nina level. So we were not told that Nina was the target user. We were able to identify that that the Nina user is the valid set of credentials in the list with this password right here. Okay, so before we finish, let's do an after action report over at GitHub. This is level 29. And let's edit this file. Okay, so the target user of this level was Nina, but it wasn't revealed to us. Okay, and the method of solving this level was access the table full of credentials in the MariaDB database and compare it with valid users in the etc password file. Then brute force with Hydra. Okay, and the key commands that we used in this level here were MySQL as the user Celeste with a password, and we also needed to do the Hydra command. And the Hydra command was this one. Okay, let's commit those changes. Anyways, this was a This was a guided walkthrough for the, what is it? For the Celeste level from HackMyVM.eu, and otherwise known as level number 29. If you enjoyed this guided walkthrough video, please click on the like and subscribe buttons underneath the video, and also leave a comment on the video. But until next time, HackerFrogs out.
Hey there, HackerFrogs! Are you enjoying this workshop? Learning new concepts and skills? If so, there's a way you can support the channel, and it's totally free. Just click on the subscribe button below the video. Also, click on the like button. And if you have questions or comments on this workshop, please leave them below the video. Thanks for listening. And now, back to our scheduled programming.